Hey guys, my name's Hinds. What is happening? This video is a little different to the other videos I produce. I know YouTubers say that a lot and I don't like saying this video is a little different, but it really genuinely is, because I had an opportunity to play Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, at Bethesda Studios in London. It was an incredible privilege to be able to do that, but unfortunately, when I arrived, the beta code that they had just kind of crashed and they couldn't allow us to record any of the footage, which was terrible. But I got to play about 2.5, 3 hours of gameplay on computer. You can play with a controller, but I chose to play with the mouse and keyboard, as is my preferred way of playing a first-person shooter. But everybody, each to their own. So the video footage that you're seeing right now is gameplay code that they gave us, and I've kind of scrubbed through it, and it's pretty much exactly what we got to play, except obviously it's not the moments that I had or that I can react to. But I thought I would share a little bit of my experience that I had with you guys, and why Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, is looking to be an incredible game. Now, if you played the first game, you'll know a lot about Wolfenstein already. You'll kind of know pretty much how it feels. It's very similar. Bethesda are very good at making very slick first-person shooters that are responsive. They make you feel powerful. That's very important. And they are just altogether really good packages. I mean, it's very seldom that Bethesda put out a bad game. Like, let's be real. Now, I played like 3 levels. I think it was 3 levels, each spanning about an hour. There were very different environments. The first level you start off with is called The Reunion. It's kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game, and I know you can look through a lot of the footage and see a little bit of the narrative, but it's you starting off in a wheelchair in the middle of this Nazi-occupied like lab area. I might be very wrong. Lots of machines going around, lots of craziness, and it reminds me a little bit of the original Wolfenstein game, where things are just crazy. They just like you're in a hospital. I don't know if you remember this. Okay. It's not the original Wolfenstein. It's the first Wolfenstein of this new generation of Wolfensteins. Where you start off in a mental asylum, and there's that really cool scene where you kind of coming to and like noticing what's happening around you, and then like falling back to sleep because you're kind of still recovering and a little bit drugged up and all that stuff. And those Nazis come to the hospital and kill everybody there. A little bit of a spoiler if you haven't played the game. Really cool intro, and it really sets this really grim tone of what it must be like if the Nazis were more powerful, and yeah, it's terrifying. It's a terrifying intro for a game. Now it's a very similar thing. Like, what happens if the Nazis took over World War II and took over America? It would be absolutely crazy. It would be bonkers. So you go through that crazy level. You get used to the fluidity of shooting. It's a really cool mode. Like, I know it's only a little part of the story, but the wheelchair is kind of really nippy, but it blocks you from entering certain areas. I found it to be really interesting. I would like to see a multiplayer mode out of that, just that little section of the game. That might be really interesting. I hope they really think about that, because they couldn't have built that just for that section of the game. You know, they must have little. The developers must have little like mini games that they've developed with that stuff. The cast of characters that they use are very interesting when it comes to like who they are from a personality perspective. They're also super diverse. There seems to be a little bit of a narrative with like fat shaming in there somewhere as well, which is kind of interesting, because one of the characters seems to be a little overweight and is being bullied by her mom. That they're both not, well, the mom's a Nazi clearly, and is using this power trip on her daughter to make her feel guilty about being overweight. I don't want to spoil too much of that for you. I think I saw a little bit too much in order to have the full experience of the game when I actually get to play it, if you know what I mean. I think it kind of took a little bit away from me. So don't watch all of the gameplay that's being released, that people are releasing. Then another level we played was you walking through the streets of an American town. I don't know if they tell you what town it is, but there's a parade going on, and you are kind of in disguise as a firefighter. But because the Nazis have won World War II, there's KKK walking the streets, just like racism, and there are these really tense scripted moments between you nearly getting discovered because you're undercover by Nazi generals, and it just feels so hardcore. Like that's the kind of narrative that you want to see scripted. They can build these really personal moments. I mean, that moment that's with the general is interesting because you around you is this huge parade. It's packed with people. You hear crowds cheering, but you walk into a diner and order. Well, you don't order food. You talk to the diner attendant, the shopkeeper, and this Nazi general walks in, and you can feel that he's important. And it's just the three of you in the room, and the tension that is built there from narratively how the script is put together is just this really like intense moment that. They could have done crazy things like helicopters crashing into buildings, and I'm sure there are huge moments in this game. Well, they definitely are because I played one in particular that I won't spoil for you guys. To have that like intensity on that scale in a shooter, and they focus on that for what feels like a very large portion of the game, reminds me of some of the reasons I really like Call of Duty Modern Warfare when it first came out, because some of the most tense moments or some of the most interesting moments are the moments where somebody is leading you into a room or it's quiet. In Modern Warfare 2, when that no Russian level where you're standing in the elevator before this really dramatic thing happens, that tense moment makes that whole experience so much better. Again, a lot of the gameplay emphasizes on stealth versus action. I think they really reward you for being stealthy. I find it really hard in Wolfenstein to be stealthy. They spot you really quickly, but you can still break away and go guns blazing. The way they've done that is in the first Wolfenstein, there would be areas where you'd be stealthy, and when you broke cover, everything would just go completely crazy, and then you could just like basically clear up the rest of the enemies and walk through to the exit. Some areas in the new Colossus don't have like an end to the respawns. They're endless respawns, and people just come rushing into the space. And it's drama. You have to like run and get through the area. Some areas I actually was able just to run through, but I did have it on normal difficulty. I didn't have it on hard, which I recommend if you want to get the most out of a game like this. Put it on difficult. You have to like switch off the alarm or whatever the case is. And some of the enemies obviously are varying difficulties, and different weapons seem to be more effective on some of them. Like they're like complete like robots, like humanoid robots, androids, and like humans. Like pistols work pretty well against humans that are armored, and then you have humans that got heavy armor on, heavy set armor, and then back to like these crazy. They're like human, like juggernaut kind of things with like flamethrowers for hands, well, like not flamethrowers, lasers for hands, for arms. And I remember like the game is really good at making you feel like really weak against them at the beginning, and then as soon as you work out or pick up enough arsenal and work out and are confident to face these different enemies, you just feel like a superhero. You're just able to like completely dominate them. Before you know it, you're in a room with 3 or 4 of them all at once when you could barely get past a room with just one. And the last thing I want to mention is they've got dual weapons, and you're able to put pretty much any weapon, as far as I know, in one hand, except for like what I call miniguns, like enemy miniguns that get dropped, you know, those things, like an arm that detaches from robot, and you get to use that arm or whatever the case is. But dual weapons, so you can put like a shotgun in this hand and assault rifle in the other, or pistol, or whatever you've got. And I actually never did it in the playthrough. I don't know why. I didn't see the prompt. Or maybe that was part of the beta glitching out. I didn't see any instructions on how to do that, which was super bleak. Or I was busy writing notes because I take notes during plays like that. And I missed out. But looking at the gameplay, it looks like I would have found a lot of areas a little bit easier if I had 2 weapons. I would have been more effective in those areas. And I think it allows you to get like creative with how you want to engage, like having a shotgun for close range in your left hand and like an assault rifle for like distance could be quite cool. Like I wish I actually got to try that out, because I think that would have been a lot of fun. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus? I really want to know your thoughts. If you are into shooters, I think you should be excited about this, especially if you're excited about single-player campaigns that are extremely tight. I don't think they mentioned anything about multiplayer. Unfortunately, we didn't really play any multiplayer. But let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy the first Wolfenstein? Didn't you? I want to know. And if you are keen on picking up a copy of the game, it is out on the 27th of October. And again, I recommend. This is just kind of an appeal to you guys. One of my big sponsors, loot.co.za, they headline the channel, and they've really helped me grow this content for you guys in this space. And I'm really, really grateful to them for being able to do that and helping me flourish. And I don't have Patreon, I don't have anything like that at the moment, just yet. I don't know if I'm ever gonna have that kind of thing, but they are pretty much my benefactors. And if you guys want to support me, other than liking this video and interacting and commenting and just sharing it around, subscribing and all that stuff, go buy your next game from Loot, and also go check their prices, compare their prices with everybody else. I don't think loot.co.za is necessarily anyone's first choice. It's like top of mind, but now that their prices are really good, that they're more visible, I think it's really worth checking out. And even if you just go compare prices, go check, just go visit, go have a look and see what you guys can go check there, and support me by supporting them. I really appreciate that, guys. I'll see you in another video. High five a stranger. Cheers.